Hello, everyone, and welcome to Scrap Saturdays. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, it's cold. It's cold. It's still snowing. It's been snowing for 2 weeks. At least it feels like it's been snowing for 2 weeks. I'm not sure. If you're somewhere hot and warm, please turn to the sun and soak it up for me right now. I need some sun. Oh my goodness, we have to do this until March or April. I don't know. Every winter is like this. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting how long these winters are. And I keep saying, why couldn't my parents have chosen Australia or California? Yeah, most of my family had migrated to those three places. It was either Toronto in Canada or Australia, so Sydney, Australia, I believe that's where they're at. Most of them, some of them are just in the outskirts like Melbourne and stuff like that. And then California. And that's kind of like, the three top. I think fourth place was Massachusetts. There's a lot of people in Fall River from my parents' country as well. But yeah, winter. I don't know why I just started with that. I think it's because I'm so cold and I'm down here and I'm like, I better get this voiceover done. Yes, and this is a picture of Alan. And within his glasses, I don't know if you've ever taken a photograph like this where you can see yourself, in someone's mirrored sunglasses. But mostly it was because he was so handsome and he was sitting across from me. And I thought, oh, he's so cute. Yeah, sometimes I don't say that. Sometimes I'm annoyed with him and he's not so cute, but most of the times he is. And I'm very, very, very blessed to have Alan in my life. And so for today's talk, I'm going to talk about manifestation. Yeah, something I don't think I've talked about, but I think we see it all over the place now. And it's been around for a very long time and it's not something new to me. I've been doing this positive thought process. I guess I was a teenager, maybe 14, 15 years old. And that comes to most of the part where I used to journal and write down all of my thoughts and ideas. And I started to really process through diary writing. I think that's what we called it growing up, was having a diary. Now we call it, the fancy term of journaling, because if we said we had diaries, it kind of relates back to being a teenage girl. But yeah, I would write down what I wanted my life to be like. I wanted to be married. I did. I know for, some people these choices don't resonate, but yeah, I wanted to have a home and I did want to have children. I always knew that. And I wanted a partner that was loving and kind and caring. I actually wrote down many, many times that I wanted a partner who had blue eyes and dark hair. And the funny part is Alan has dark hair and blue eyes. And, I did have some of these journals or diaries left behind. And I remember showing Alan a few of them and he's like, wow, that's really weird. And that's usually, when you don't, I don't know if believe is the right word, or if you have someone who doesn't practice or do this sort of mind projection, then they don't understand it, right? They think it's weird. They think, what do you mean? What do you mean you wished me into existence? I'm like, well, you were there. I just sort of kind of like, grasped you into my realm. And again, as I say this out loud now, as I'm saying this, I'm like, wow, it does take a lot of courage for those other YouTubers who talk about manifestation and the secret, because it sounds hokey. It really does. And I know I touched upon this with my book review, and I talked about all the books that I did read, like the Gabrielle Bernsteins and The Secret and all those people. And I forgot the other lady's name. She was one that I read this summer as well. And again, it's all about, I think it was a lady who wrote the Eat, Pray, Love. So if you know which one I'm talking about, she wrote a book about also manifesting what she wanted into her life. And it's the same thing with the person who wrote the Harry Potter series, right? She as well projected that. Jim Carrey. There's so many people out there that have this same idea that they've spoken about, right? And so for me, what I've learned is that it's just like anything that you read. Like all these gurus and all these people that write books and stuff like that, they don't tell you how to do it because there's this unexplained thing about it, right? You have to actually believe that you are already doing it. And that's the magic answer, right? So for everything that I've gone through in my life and for the way that I speak about God and my children and my home and just the way that I translate my words and what I feel about myself. Again, these are growing tools. I now speak like this, but what I'm getting at is that you have to train yourself to believe in the possibility of. Train yourself. It's like lifting weights, but you're lifting weights with your mind, and the weights that you're lifting are the ideas that you want to manifest. Yeah. Sincerely, that's just how it is, because Alan was a stranger to me and now he's my family, right? That's the title that I use. He is my direct family. He is the first person they're going to call if anything happens to me, right? My mom's no longer here. So think about that. Think about how powerful it is to know that you can manifest someone into your life. And I just read another person on Instagram and she's like, I wanted to find this guy and I wrote down, who and this and that. And sometimes it's not that because you wrote it down and you put it underneath your pillow. Again, I know how crazy this sounds. And maybe you're like, what the heck are you talking about today, Monica? Bear with me. I'm getting there. But it's writing down ideas because it clarifies what you're looking at. It's the same example that I told you before when you're, on the road and you're doing that travel game that I do with my kids where I'm like, did you see a yellow car? And you'll be like, I have never seen a yellow car. But as soon as you say yellow car, you've seen 20 yellow cars. But it's because you didn't hone into that. You didn't practice the weightlifting of the idea of what you were looking for with your mind. So you weren't aware, right? You just got stuck in the same old crap. So all you see is the same old crappy cars. Because you didn't know that if you trained your mind to see all the yellow cars, they would all of a sudden appear in front of you. Because once you hone in your attention to something that you want, it will come true. I know, it's crazy. I do not have a bag of $1 million in my basement yet, but I'm working on it. And again, it has to be within realistic limits, right? You have to do something so unrealistic, so weird sounding, as Alan says, to create these realistic goals. Right? And it's like if you manifest something that you say, okay, so I want this handsome, blue-eyed guy to come into my life and I want him to be like this, like this, like that. And your whole list is there. Yes. And then you meet a guy and you know the criteria because you've written it out in your diary, your journal 100 times. And you meet this guy and he's a complete bad person. I was going to say a bad word, I think. Then don't stay with him. That's not in your radar because then you attract more people like that. Yes? Yes. I believe in that stuff very much so. I believe that we attract what we put out. I think it's huge. I think sometimes it takes longer than other times because we're so used to accepting bad behavior from people. We're so used to expecting bad behavior from ourselves first thing in the morning when we get up and we start to bash ourselves in the mirror and we start to bash our home and bash everything around us. Yeah, because it's so hard to change from that. It does sound fake. Same thing I said 3 videos ago, same thing I said last year. You have to practice saying, this is what I want from now on. I no longer eat chips. I am a runner, right? And saying those things, or I am happy, I am blessed, I am in love, I love my home, I love whatever it is that you're manifesting, right? For those things to come true, you have to actually change the language in your mind. And sometimes the hardest part about growth and change, because that's part of manifesting. Manifesting doesn't mean it just comes to you like Santa Claus down a chimney and then whatever it is that you want is there, under your tree. No, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of change. And the hardest part, and this is the part that's the trickiest part, is growing. It's transforming and changing into the person you want to be surrounded by the people you want to be, surrounded by the job that you want, surrounded by the home that you want to live in, surrounded by all of the things that you want to manifest. That means you have to let go of people and things and places that no longer serve you. And that is the hardest thing to do. Because sometimes those people are some very close family members or very close friends, and they hold you back from growing into your person because they're like, what? All of a sudden you like that? All of a sudden you comb your hair like that? Now you're on a diet? Oh, now you're dating that guy? Oh, you guys got new furniture? Oh, now you're building a new home? And the jealousy comes out. The confusion comes out because they don't understand how you're attracting all of this good stuff into your life. They don't understand that you're changing your mindset. So they try to sabotage you and they hold you back from that happiness. They hold you back. And I remember a long time ago, this is years. I think it's 20 years back. I watched an interview with Oprah. And she was talking about her success and all this stuff, right? Because it's so easy to look at people, especially like someone like her. You don't have to agree with everything she says. I get it. It's just like myself. I'm just babbling. You take what you need. You take the berries that serve you from my mouth. Everything else I could care less. It's whatever you need. That's what I'm here for. And she was doing this interview and someone was asking her, Oprah, what's the hardest thing? And she said the hardest thing was letting go of family members who didn't want my true, genuine success and joy in this life. And she said that she continuously wanted that relationship with certain people. And she pushed, and she tried to contort herself. And she even dumbed herself down to try to reach their level. And continuously they ignored her and treated her really badly. And she's like, no, I had to let them go. And that's when I became successful. Because the energy you surround yourself with is the energy that carries you through life. And sometimes, sadly, it's the partners we have, or the family members, or the friends, or the job. And it's time to grow. It's time to break free from whatever has been holding you back. It's time to manifest something brand new. And so, yeah, I manifested Alan into my life. I broke the cycle of a domestic violent abusive home because I said no. Because I wrote down in my diary that I wouldn't accept that in my life. And I haven't. It hasn't been easy. It's been a lot of weightlifting practice in my brain with the thoughts and ideas of, first of all, telling myself that I was worth a partner that would love me. Woo, huge breakthrough. You mean you actually love me? And he loved me when I was obese. When I was at my lowest, he loved me. Huge, huge, huge things that I'm saying today. And I hope they resonate with you because I have so much more to say. Not right now, don't worry. We're almost done. But yes, manifestation, the secret. You've all heard about it. It's the beginning of the year. Write something down. Put it underneath your pillow. Read it every single day. One idea. Don't bombard yourself with 100 things. Focus on the top thing that you want to change. And then you have to do the work. Remember, you have to do the work. And then the next thing that I'm going to say to you is the most important part. When these people appear in your life, grab onto them. Yes, it's not just coincidence. Don't take it and think, that's weird. I was just thinking about that. No, that's the universe placing them in front of your face. Right? They're there for a split second. You've got 1 second to make that right decision. Don't make the wrong decision over and over again because we keep attracting the wrong people into our lives. I told you before, not everyone can handle my personality. I think I was very humble on here when I said, not everyone likes my laugh. Not everybody likes that I'm just this big ball of energy that walks into a room that I can't help. That's who I am. But before I wasn't like that because other people in my life told me not to dance. Other people told me not to laugh that loud. Other people told me that I shine way too bright and I'm being embarrassing and they couldn't handle me. But not this guy. This guy tells me that I don't shine bright enough. This guy tells me that if I laugh, he's going to laugh too. And so I am very blessed. I'm very blessed. And I thank the universe. I thank God. I thank God every single day that this guy walked in my path in high school across from me in the lockers. I love him dearly. He is my joy. He is definitely the best thing that ever happened to me. I wish you guys the same amount of love, but wishing won't make it come true. You have to want it. You have to think about it. You have to appreciate what you have right in front of you. Appreciate your love. Appreciate it and know that you are worthy of receiving that love equally in return. So yeah, it's a simple layout, but I love the way it turned out. Again, I love the black and white and the pops of yellows. Really, really keeps it neutral, but still somehow really fun and exciting. Be inspired, my friends. Be inspired by what you see. Make time. Take time for yourselves. Please take time for yourselves. Heal yourselves. Love yourselves. Because as you know, this hobby heals. And I will see you all very, very soon.